Um, and I'll turn on some tunes in the background while I set that up because I must. I must. Your power is incredible. It is. Let's see. On the tunes. Okay. There we go. Now that way it's not fucking silent. Alright, let me pull up tier list maker. My autism tier list. Alright. Make a template. No, I said I would do it. I said I would do it. That's good enough for a promise from me. A single-use template. Alright. Now I gotta get things to represent them, so... Let's, get some files in here. A and D, we'll get, warriors in there. I think that counts. We get, I don't like that image for warriors. Hang on. Hang on. What else would I use for warriors? Dun, dun, dun. I mean, I love the Yumi Neko soundtrack. Now, okay, do I count When They Cry as an entire thing, or should I separate Umineko, Higurashi, and Kikonia? That's an important one. Just by asking the streamer to do something they will. This level of stream control is possible for Sisyphus. What do you think, everyone? With Love Examination playing? Excellent, excellent. I think I'll separate the When They Cries, because they are pretty different. Let's see. Yeah. Grab Umineko. Grab Kikonia. Let's grab Haruhi. Let's see. What other Tisms do I have? Sonic. How could I forget Sonic? You can see myself getting the Umi-brained on a reread, but I never be Higu-brained. There was a time in my life where I had been a Higurashi fan first, right? And then I went and I read Umineko, and I finished Umineko, and I went, yeah, Umineko was good, but I don't think I'll ever love it on the level of Higurashi. And well, I mean, I sure talk about Umineko way more than I talk about Higurashi, I'll say that. Let's see, what else is there? What else is there? Well, first of all, let's grab all of those. I gotta look at my shelf. Oh, Homestuck, but specifically prospecting. Grab that. What else am I? Oh, Danganronpa, duh. Right. I'll have Monokuma represent Danganronpa, I think. That's probably the best way to go about it. So did autism, I'm glad Ace Attorney streams have not yet reawakened my Ace Attorney hyperfixation that's always lurking. You never know, that's a sleeper agent and waiting. Waiting. Let's see, what other... Me, like, looking around my room. Let's go, let's see. Gotta grab that as well. Some of them may be surprises. How about that? Is it entertaining sitting here waiting for me to get my tisms in order? Let's see. The anticipation, right? I know. Okay. Got that. Sometimes I gotta just, like, open up my phone and look at my camera roll to see, like, how many images I have saved of a franchise to remember, what I'm into, because, there's so much, you know? Oh, duh. Another one. We can use that for that. What else? What else? Ooh. That's one that that's like a sleeper ancient. That's one maybe not a lot of people have heard of, so that'll be a fun one to drop on people. Let's see, what else do I got? What else do I got? Anything more, or am I solid? If there's something that I have mentioned being tistic about, feel free to ask if it's on the list, just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that people vitally want me to rank. I'd also say that this is one of them. $2:30, your brain stopped functioning? Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I think I've got all my tisms wrapped up. Let me check real quick. Oh, I almost forgot a major one. This is why I check my roleplay servers. I need a decent picture of this one. Picture of my son. Good, good, good. And I'll also grab this one. Oh, is that what I want people knowing about, actually? I feel like I'm gonna get judged big time for that. Nah, I gotta react. I have to redact that from the tier list for my sake. There is no, no, don't worry, we won't judge or bully you for this. Because you know we will. The secret lurf interest? I mean, okay, the thing is, it's not that big of a secret, and I'm a little bit like, oh my fucking god, because I had an icon for that interest for the longest time, and the day that I changed my icon was the day Gadsaya came out, and it was the icon used on my Gadsaya acceptance speech. So that is immortalized. If people source that fan art, they will know. So like, should I just oust myself? Oh, people. Oh, we're all understandable and media literate here, right? We're all reasonable people. It's a pretty easy find then. Yeah. All right. I'll put it on there. You're normal? Okay. Oh no, what picture do I use? Oh no, this is hard. Okay. I'm normally media literate, however, I'm sleep deprived and in bullying mode. I don't mind if you bully me for it. It's just like, it's a media that is commonly, it had a very large controversy, is what I'll say. And the controversy came from people who couldn't read or didn't understand what it was doing. I'll just get a sprite of one of the characters. That's fine. Okay. If you like Homestuck and Higurashi, the way you're talking about this is if it's worse of those two. It is worse. At least I think it has a worse reputation, for sure. Alright. Now, let me adjust the tier list. S rank. Okay. Anyway, it was cool to join in on the stream. If I joined it pretty much at the end, yeah. I have all the VODs up on my VOD channel. At least they're coming. This one will be up as well. Unfortunately, I forgot to record it separately, so I'm gonna like download it from Twitch and edit it down because I'm putting effort into this now. But everything else should be up there right now. Including Turnabout Samurai. Dream SMP? No. Are you fucking kidding me? No. There's only one Minecraft SMP on my Spinterest list, and it's not Dream. I've never even seen the Dream SMP. Oops. Okay, and then one more tier in the description. Not because watching Dream SMP is bad to be clear, but the idea of calling it worse than Hiku and Homestuck is. Yeah, no, I don't really have any comment on the Dream SMP, to be honest. I don't know. Perhaps I don't care. Okay, I've got my tiers named. Dream SMP fandom was insane. The creators are a mess, but Technoblade was a goat. Sad way, I'll put an infection to it. Yeah, I like Technoblade a lot. I didn't really watch his Dream SMP stuff, but I've seen some of his content. I should go check out more of his stuff past his passing. Where? Okay. Let's get this up. And then, I'm gonna, hang on, let me just adjust things real quick. We're gonna hide the bottom of that there. Then that side there. Okay. So, here's our tier list for the Tisms. So, from top to bottom, we have the I know everything about this. This is like a consistent, like, special interest of mine that I have had for some time, and I think about it constantly. Like, basically, like, on a weekly basis, this will pop into my mind, like, minimum. The second is to consume many years of my life to an insane degree. This is something that I'll say, instead of weekly, I think about it at least once a month. You know, like this is just, it's still consistently here, but not nearly as strong. I got the Tism for this. This is maybe like the every few months it comes back, right? You know, like instead of like every single month, it's maybe like every 2 to 3 months. This consumes my life for a little bit of a time. And then it like fades a little bit, and then suddenly it comes back, and it's just like a little bit of a cycle, you know? The Tism is there, but it fluctuates, more like a hyperfixation than a special interest. This is something that comes up more like maybe like a few times a year. I think like ranking time to this would be strange. I think that specific area there, more like a hyperfixation than a special interest, is it'll consume me when it hits me back. Like I'll forget about it for a while, but suddenly I'm reminded of it, or something happens, and then it's over for me. You know, like then it's like, oh fuck, now I'm thinking about it all the time again, and then who knows how long it'll take for it to fade again. But it's like a sleeper agent almost. And then I think about it often enough to be unusual. Again, all of these are in my Tism area. Like the pure autism special interest ADHD hyperfixation thing. So I think about it often enough to be unusual. I think about it quite a bit. It has been a constant in my life, probably for years, but it's not to the degree of everything else. It's like weak. I probably don't know everything about it, but like when it comes back, it comes back. All right. So first of all, the obvious one. Codename Kids Next Door. I know everything about Codename Kids Next Door. Yeah, it is a constant in my life. I think about this all the time. It's impossible for me not to think about it. I named my cat after Nigel Uno. I have a signed original drawing from Mr. Warburton, signed by him and Ben Diskin. I have a signed thank you letter from Mr. Warburton. I have Kids Next Door trading cards. I wish I had more Kids Next Door merch. It is my everything. It's honestly gotten worse lately. But yeah, I have been obsessing over Kids Next Door since 2015, I would say. Can we get an Alive Nigel reaction? Yeah, sure. Let me get him in here. Let me. Where do I move him? He can be down here, so he's not in the way of anything. Here we go. There he is. Live Nigel reaction. Thank you for the stretch and posture check, Tiff. All right. Next up. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. So, next up, horse race test. I don't know if anyone knows what horse race test is. The reason I think it's not as extreme is because horse race test is so, like, how do I explain horse race test? So on Twitter, someone was, silly abbreviation, yeah. someone on Twitter was basically, this tier list is for my autism special interests, basically. So horse race test was basically, a test for this game that, someone on Twitter was making called, like horse race. And it was basically, you know the DVD screensaver thing where it would try to bounce around, it would bounce into the corner? All the horses are programmed like that, and you're essentially just waiting for them to somehow bounce into their goal, which is usually a carrot, sometimes an apple. And like there's no like actual. I don't want to say there's no actual story because there is. But it's basically a bunch of horses. You know what? Hang on. Maybe I just need to show you guys horse race test to understand. Horse race test. Can I get one of the videos? Okay. I have all horse race tests upload order. However, we're not gonna watch the full thing. Hang on. I gotta see how OBS is capturing this. Right, poorly, of course. Hang on. I gotta adjust the screen capture here. You know what? Actually, let me make this an entirely new thing. I don't wanna fuck up the single one. Which one was I rooting for? Cyan, duh. Upload order. It's important. There's an upload order. Hang on. Let me get a new screen capture. First race test. Hey, capture. Capture. Okay. Alright. And then I put it here. Okay, and then let me hang on. Okay. So horse race test is and I'm gonna turn off the tunes just so you know what it feels like to watch horse race test, okay? Okay? Let me center that a little bit more. Go. So this is the very first horse race test. No. Hang on. We need where the story truly begins. Where's the track? Hang on. Fuck, man. Hang on. Let me find a better video. I can do better than this. Um, where is that one place that had all the horse race tests together? Hang on, hang on. Horse race historian. There we go. Oh shit, there were new uploads. I gotta catch up on shit. Um, so the horse race tests. Let's get into one where my girl, my queen, Cyan, is there. Here. Place your 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, let me turn that down a little bit. This is horse race test. And they just go like this. And for the whole duration. Until one of them fucking screensaver bounces all the way into the goal. Right? And then they get the carrots and they earn their name. So each horse is nameless until they get their carrots. And there's an excellent saga where Cyan and White kept losing races. And that became a whole fucking thing. There was a corruption arc where there were evil horses, and like there's so much fucking shit in horse race. Thank you. It's so hard to explain, viewer, but thank you for for at least knowing what it is. Anyway, like the new story is that they're playing basketball, as far as I'm aware, and then Cyan got a taser and attacked her girlfriend. It was crazy. But anyway, horse race test is something that I think about it often enough to be unusual, but I wouldn't classify it as a special interest because I mean, I don't even know how to explain it to people. And it doesn't, like, update often enough for me to, like... I'm also not even on Twitter, so it's hard to follow. I watched a recap video and got into it from there, but fell off partway through the basketball arc. Did you at least get to the taser? Because the taser was fucking great. Making shit up? There is a very good recap video on YouTube. You can literally find it by looking up horse race test, and it'll probably be the first thing that shows up. Anyway. You did not get to the taser? Oh my god. Dude, you gotta catch up with horse race test. It goes crazy. Alright. Anyway, enough about horse race test. Next up, Kidositsuji, aka Black Butler. This consumed years of my life to an unhealthy degree. I fucking love Black Butler. Black Butler is probably one of my first animes. Like, way back in like the 2010s 2012 eras, like, you know, like an anime I definitely should have been watching around that point in my life, but I did, and it has stuck with me ever since. I still keep up with the manga. I definitely think about CL Phantom Hive fairly often. I debate whether I put it in this to consume my many years of my life to an extent degree, or got the Tism for this, but given how long it's been going on, that's yeah. That's another thing. The mystery Tism has to have worse rep then. Yeah, it does. It does. Because Satsuchi's like generally considered really good, you know? Like, okay, yeah, like people are like, oh, it was originally meant to be a hentai yaoi and a shotokan, but like it isn't though. But like if you look at Black Butler and you actually like read the manga, there's a bad fandom around it for sure. But Black Butler itself, the content itself is, it's like dark horror kind of. Not dark horror, dark humor. Like it's horror comedy, I would say, or maybe thriller comedy. I'm gonna call it like horror, but it's definitely unsettling. Can you guess what I was heard that as when you first said that? Whenever it was in a previous stream? What did you mishear it as? Kurosatsuji? Thinkumi? Hmm. I, I have a vague idea, but you'll have to message me if it's a spoiler. But yeah. Were we saving the mystery problematic or interest for last? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Uh, next up is Adventure Time. Adventure Time Tism is there, but it fluctuates. I would say that it used to be a lot stronger, but it has faded with time. Oh, side story noted. Yeah, I don't know. Adventure Time's good. Yeah, I think it was very similar to K and D. They both started around the same time, but Adventure Time has definitely faded out. I still very much love Adventure Time, but this is more like a thing that hits me whenever it comes up again, rather than something I think about constantly. Uh, next up, um, a little above Adventure Time in the Tism is there but fluctuates. Yin Yang Yo. Has anyone ever heard of Yin Yang Yo? It was a Jetix cartoon that moved to Disney XD. I fucking love Yin Yang Yo. Yin Yang Yo doesn't give enough credit. It was a banger cartoon. The second season was a little sexist. We talked about this a little bit at one point. Okay, yeah. I really like Yin Yang Yo. I think it's underrated. Not a kid, remember nothing about it. Yeah. I recommend it. I recommend it. It's actually pretty witty. It has some like gross out humor, but two rabbits in the hand is yeah. Two rabbits learning the ancient art of Wufu, which is a laughing stock trained by their master, Master Yo, who's a panda, who's a fairly bad teacher to be honest. It's a very fun comedy. The wit and humor of it really get to me. And season 2 is awesome for Yang, but unfortunately Yin kind of turns into a plot device and it sucks because I really like Yin, but I also really like Yang, so it's like yay my boy, but also no my girl. I also controversially like Coop, who is probably one of the most hated characters in the series, but I don't know, he's just a little guy with Tourette's. So leave him alone. Uh, next up, and I got the tism for it, Attack on Titan. This is not the most controversial love interest. Though honestly, like it should be, but for some reason I'm not as embarrassed to like it. Maybe because Attack on Titan was pretty mainstream. Uh, any bad shit you've heard about Attack on Titan, I guarantee most of it is just bull fucking shit. Most people who have like been like, oh, I haven't watched Attack on Titan because I hear this, and this about it. I told them to sit down and watch Attack on Titan with me. They watched it all the way through, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Like, literally none of that was there actually. So, Attack on Titan is my biggest. Maybe watch something before you have an opinion about it, kind of thing, or read it. But yeah, Attack on Titan's good. I like the ending. My most controversial statement of all. And no, I won't elaborate. I don't feel the need to justify myself to people. I also don't care to spoil it. Uh, I hear that's better in the anime. It definitely is. I like it much better in the anime. I think it fixed my major gripe with it. I'm just not interested in AOT based off vibes. Can I ask what you think those vibes are? AOT season 1 bored me, so I bounced off. Yeah, season 1 fucking sucks, to be honest. Um, the latter half of the season is better, but I think season 2 is where Attack on Titan goes crazy. After that final season, part two, whatever, because that's when I got pissed off with the structure. Yeah, I think that Mappa fucked up. It fucked up releasing it. Just everything about the general look of it seems like something you wouldn't be interested. That's fair. That's fair. I enjoy it. I think it has interesting characters and an interesting message. And a lot for me to dig into. It also has one of the best twists in anime history in terms of just like its delivery. And I'm not talking about the season 3 one, I'm talking about the season 2 one. Aesthetics are a big deal for me, and AOT's just bounced me off. That's fair. That's fair. Next up, and I think about it often enough to be unusual, little above HRT. Dungeons and Dragons. I really like Dungeons and Dragons. Unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast fucking sucks, and it's a shit ass company. But I've enjoyed playing Dungeons and Dragons. My D&D interest has significantly lessened over the course of the last year because of really big fallout of a campaign that I was in that lasted 4 years. But I miss it. I miss being able to play it. I haven't been able to play consistently in quite some time. Yeah, no, I just like Attack on Titan. Not Attack on Titan. Fuck Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I've been streaming for how many hours now? You can't expect me to have my thoughts together. Perfect draw one day, yeah. Next up, I would say I got the Tism for this. No, the Tism is there, but it fluctuates. No, where do I want to put it? You want to put it high fluctuates or low I got Tism for this? I would say it comes back more often than Yin Yang Yo in Adventure Time, so low I got Tism for this. Homestuck class specting. Not Homestuck itself, but the class specting system as a way to analyze characters is something I am incredibly passionate about. Like, I can write essays about this, and I have. It is a genuinely amazing tool for analyzing characters. It's not entirely canon accurate anymore, but if you look up the treatise on class specting, I found that to be one of the most helpful tools in understanding a character and also helping me build characters that there has ever been. It works so well. It is one of the best character analysis tools I've ever seen in my life. It's awesome. It's so good. I posted in my my Spintrest channel in the Discord the other day some of my analysis of the Haruhi characters via the Homestuck class specting system, and I think they hold up very, very well. And next up, Kikonia When They Cry. I would say the Tism is there, but it fluctuates, more like a hyperfixation. I love Kikonia. I love Kikonia to death. However, we have not got an update on it for so long, and it's an unfinished story, and therefore I don't have much to really talk about. Like, once I've talked myself dry, like, I've said everything there is that I have to say about Kikonia. The only way I could have more to say about Kikonia if I got more people to read it, and then they would talk to me about it, and maybe they would give me some new perspectives, and then I could talk about Kikonia more, which would be really, really cool. But unfortunately, I don't live in that world, so I don't get to think about Kikonia as much as I like to. After that, Umineko. I know everything about Umineko. People have called me an Umineko encyclopedia. Umineko is right up there, like, to the point where, like, I almost feel like it's tied with K&D, but K&D outwins it by pure longevity. I love Umineko to death. Yeah, I can't. There was a fucking 3-year period of my life where I did not go a day without thinking about Umineko. Now it's more about, like, once a week, like normal style. But there was a time in my life where I was thinking about Umineko every single day of my life. For an absurd amount of time. It was crazy. Like, to the point I noticed it, and I was like, wow, I have not gone a single day without thinking about Umineko, haven't I? And then I would think about it, and I was like, no, I did think about Umineko today, huh? It was like something I was keeping track of. It was crazy. Next up, I would say Sonic the Hedgehog is... the Tism is there, but it fluctuates, more like a hyperfixation than a special interest. Maybe above Adventure, maybe above Inyenyo. Probably, no, it's above Kikonia. I think about Sonic more than I do Kikonia. That's better. Yeah, that feels about right. I don't feel confident calling, like, I really like Sonic. I'm very passionate about Sonic. But, like, if you're like, what happens in this specific ending of Shadow the Hedgehog? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't have every route of Shadow the Hedgehog memorized. And therefore, I can't really call it a special interest. I feel like this hits special interest territory, where this is more like, I have ADHD hyperfixation, so I really like this thing. maybe if I replay all the Sonic games, then maybe it'll get elevated. But I've really only been focusing on Sonic so much just because it's been the topic lately. Placing Sonic down there really recontextualizes this list for me. Yeah, it should. It should. This is our anchor, like our landmark, if you will, for everything around it. Imagine the fact that Kuro Setsuji is 2 tiers above Sonic. Think about that. I think about CL Phantom Hive way more than I think about any Sonic character. And that's just a fact. Again, like I said, Sonic has only been such a heavy topic for me because it's been the topic lately. Because I made Mouse play Sonic Unleashed, and then Jelly played a bunch of Sonic games. Like, Sonic has just been around in my life, so I've had a lot of opportunity to talk about it when I normally do not talk about Sonic this much. How do you have the space in your brain for all this? I just forget normal things. You know, I forget, you know, what days my classes are, or, if I've eaten today. You know, like all that boring shit gets stuffed out of my mind. Yeah. All right. Warrior Cats. I would say this is a low Tism tier, a low hyperfixation tier. I think about Warrior Cats and I get obsessed when a new book comes out, and then I read the book in a day, and then I talk about Warrior Cats for a month, and then I shut up for half the year, and then Warrior Cats comes back, and then I do it again. That's pretty much my thing. I've been a fan of Warrior Cats since childhood. I was very, very obsessed with it as a kid, but it has gone from maybe this consume many years of my life to Tism to now down here, and this is where it lives right now. It also may live here because Warrior Cats is never the topic, and I never get to talk about it. Because no one I know keeps up with the books. Next up, My Little Pony. I will put that between Dungeons and Dragons and HRT. I think about enough to be unusual. I had a really, really big My Little Pony phase for a long time. My favorite Warrior Cats character, this is basic, but it's Jay Feather. It's probably, like, easier, better to do it per book. Maybe not per book, but per series. So let's see. Into the Wild, my favorite character was Ravenpaw. I loved Ravenpaw. He was my little baby boy. In the New Prophecy, my favorite character was Leafpool. I fucking love Leafpool. That's my goat. In Power of Three, Jay Feather, Omen of the Stars, Ivy Pool. Fuck What Happens After the Stars. Is that A Vision of Shadows? A Vision of Shadows. I really liked Alderheart. Alderheart was awesome. In series after A Vision of Stars. That's the one of Shadowsight, right? I like Shadowsight. He was probably my favorite of that cast. And then after that, I need to look at the series list because I forget the series names. There's so many of them. Yeah, Vision of Shadow. Oh, Broken Code. Yeah. Broken Code was the one with Shadowsight. And then there was Starless Clan, in which I would say Frostpaw was my favorite. Frostpaw was really, really awesome and interesting. I really liked her plot. A really shame that one just kind of crumbled at the beginning. And then Changing Skies, which is the current arc, my favorite is Moonpaw. I really like Moonpaw. There we go. That about sums it up. There's 2 things on here where the fandom doesn't have a bad rep as far as I know. Yeah, the thing is, I don't really, like, engage with fandom all that much. So, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know what the fandom does. The only time I know about the fandom is if like, I get, like, constant things recommended to me in my YouTube talking about how bad the fandom is. Next up. The Life series. I would say I got the Tism for this. I really like the Life series. Maybe a little above Homestuck Class Specting. Maybe even a little above Attack on Titan, honestly. I think Attack on Titan has fallen. No, I can't put it back with Attack. No. This is where Life series goes. I never read Warrior Cats, but I absorbed a lot of knowledge from watching Warrior Cat YouTubers growing up. Yeah, that's real. Yeah. I like the Light series quite a bit. Uh, I always watch multiple POVs when a new season comes out, but I haven't found myself really talking about it much outside of that. In addition, I would put Parkour Civilization and PvP Civilization and all of those related things around the same category where the Life series is. And maybe Hermitcraft, but honestly, I don't care about Hermitcraft as much as I do the Life series and Parkour Civilization. With no, Parkour Civilization is cinema. Parkour Civilization is cinema. I don't have the Civ Tism. I specifically have Parkour Civilization, PvP Civilization, and Parkour PvP Civilization crossover. The Evbo ones. I'm not embarrassed about this. It was peak. It was peak cinema. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. I was amused the entire time. It gave me thoughts about the world. Next up, I would say, really high I got the Tism for this, because I have not been into Danganronpa that long. Well, actually, no, it's been like 3 years. No, I'll put Danganronpa as consumed years to my life. Under Kurosetsuji, but yeah, once I got Danganronpa pilled, it just like it dug its claws into me, and then I've been thinking about it constantly. It's always coming back for me, especially Komaida. It's done irreparable things to my mental health, apparently. Next up, I will put Higurashi at the top of I got the Tism for this. I don't talk about it enough for it to have consumed my life to an insane degree, and I'm not insane about it as I am about Umineko. I feel like there's a lot less for me to dissect than there is about Umineko. Like, Umineko, like, changed my fucking life. Higurashi was just really good to me. I really liked Higurashi. Haruhi? I know everything about this. I know everything about this. I know everything about Haruhi. I reread the light novels over and over again. I am fucking obsessed with Haruhi. This is no secret to anyone. And now my final one, the controversial one, the one I am scared to announce. Coffin of Andy and Lele. I got the Tism for this. Low, I got the Tism for this, but it's the Coffin of Andy and Lele. Yeah, the O. Yeah, you get it? Yeah? You understand? You understand why I was hesitant? You understand? Yeah, the fucking picture of Andrew Graves as my profile picture in the Jad Seo Awards. I wish I had sent in an alternate icon or something. That's immortalized. Fucking crazy. Anyway, Coffin of Anley and Lele is actually pretty good. Like, obviously it has some strong some strong warnings on there, but I think that it has some really compelling character studies about two very awful people. I love very dark psychological horror like this. It is the kind of horror that really gets to me, and I find the characters both very fascinating and fun to talk about. Not as bad as I expected TVH. I don't know what I've expected instead, but this is like chill. I mean, okay, I will say this. I have consumed and enjoyed media that is probably worse than this content-wise, but I would not put it in my autism area, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, that is my autism tier list. And with that, I will be closing out the stream. I understand why you'd be worried, but my thoughts about this has been people were way overreacting forever. Yeah, I really don't understand. Like, there's worse things in the world, guys. I don't know. Like, it's just I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid. Maybe I can talk about it another time, but people are really media illiterate and it's annoying. Normies, yeah. All right then. I gotta go. I've been streaming for 15 and a half hours. So, you all have a good night. I am going to bed. See ya.